I recently started a new adventure in a cozy modded world, and I'm also a hobbit, mushroom person kind of thingy, I don't really know. So far I've built a little starter house, but the more I play in this world, the more I realize that I'm quickly running out of space. So I want to create a beautiful hobbit village that has everything I need to progress in this world. Let's get started. First up, we have to find a place to actually build our new hobbit village. I live in this house on this hill, and when we go up the hill, there's a little village, which is good because I want to force a bunch of villagers to live in my village. Teehee. But what's even more interesting than the village is the hill behind it. I can imagine a bunch of hobbit holes inside of that hill. And there's a zombie coming up behind me, ruining all of my cottagecore dreams. There's a lot of work to be done on this hill, so let's get started. First, let's cut down all of the trees using the tree chop mod, which means they just instantly fall just when I break one block. Goodbye, tree. The next step is lighting up all of the caves here because I don't want anything creeping or crawling when I'm building here. But I'm also still very much in the early game, so when I see some ores, I'm gonna get distracted and pick them up. Free resources. Of course, there has to be some giant creepy cave full of creepy monsters in here. Hi, Mr. Creepy Creepy. Ah! Good that I'm not scared of caves at all. Ah! And all the coal mining in the random caves actually helped me to reach 30 levels. All the caves in the hill are lit up and all the creatures have crawled back to where they came from. So the next step is terraforming this entire hill with an unenchanted diamond shovel. Unless we do something about it. And this is where my 30 levels come in. If we manage to get an enchanting table and also get lucky with the shovel, we could be terraforming that hill super fast. The problem is I only have 9 leather and no sugarcane anywhere. I share this Minecraft world with my friends, so the easiest solution is to just go into their hobbit holes and see if they have an enchanting table. I found one in Nova's house and I'm sure she won't mind if I use it. Right after I go back to my base and get some lapis. And also have a lot of diamonds so we can make a new shovel because this one is almost broken. And now let's see if we can get lucky. We only have one chance with this. Let's risk it. Efficiency 4 and I'm breaking, which is exactly what I wanted. Now I'm just gonna take my new shovel and walk back to my hill. Then let's drink some milk for like no reason at all. And let's start digging. And now it's going super fast. It's instantly breaking the blocks. And then the big terraforming project began. It was just a bunch of digging and dirt placing, but it's essential to plan out the village. Now the hill looks even uglier than before because I exposed a bunch of stony walls. But we're gonna put hobbit holes on the walls, so they're gonna be hidden soon. So I took a screenshot of the hill and then took it into some random paint program to figure out the location of the village houses. Now that I've shown that my art skills are those of a 3-year-old child, I need to figure out what block palette I'm going to use for my hobbit holes. In my starter house, I used a bunch of pink and blue and this white wood, which isn't pale wood. It's actually jacaranda wood. I made a tree chopping farm for all the wood types I've collected in this world so far. And one of them is the jacaranda wood, which is just a wall of purple leaves. So we just need to find our way inside of them and let's chop them down. Now all the trees are gone and we can replant them in case we need more. I also want to get some of this pink mahogany wood, which is super satisfying to cut down. I've also grown a giant spruce tree, which is my all-time favorite wood type, so we need lots of that wood too. Now my backpack is full of resources, but there is still a lot of resources that we need. And this world is full of magical modded biomes, so let's see what we can find. I just fell in the river. I walked through a creepy volcanic biome, which had some cute plants that I stole from the ground. Then I found the biome that had the pink mahogany trees, which I already had, so I picked up some melons instead. I also found this really cute orange flower. Then I aggressively made my way through a bamboo jungle, then got distracted feeding bamboo to a cute panda, and a tiny little mushroom creature was watching me from the forest. I'm petting it aggressively, I'm not beating it up. I'm definitely not beating it up. I'm beating it up. And the little mushroom creature actually showed me a lush cave. But a lush cave is actually one of the things I was looking for. Let's change into our iron armor so we don't die to creepers. Ah! Ah! No! Good that I'm really good at Minecraft and stop! Okay, they're just fighting each other. I also brought an efficiency 5 hoe that I found in an ancient city on day 1, so we can just easily take all of the moss while the skeletons are still battling each other. Or I don't know what they're doing right now. 2 little skellies sitting in a tree. Kissing. Okay, they're fighting each other again. What a tragic romance. I collected tons of moss without any more incidents. I also collected lots of the clay because that can be turned into bricks, and then I can add potted plants around my houses. And now we can finally get out of the creepy caves. There was a creeper behind me. And my backpack is full of resources. There's also a bird here. Let's try to tame it. Please love me. Now I have a random bird. Then I sailed down the river while the bird was screaming into my ears. Then I came across a little acacia village and stole all of their food. I also found the most sus chest ever with a bunch of meat and a knife. Who did they butcher to make this? I also see a creepy modded structure in the distance. Let's see if anybody lives here. It's just a random outpost with a loot chest at the top that has some firework rockets. Let's have a little firework show. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. It also took me like 10 minutes to notice that the parrot has flown away and I have no idea where it's gone. After some more traveling, I found a dark oak forest which had a bunch of these really pretty giant mushrooms. I want them. Ah! I also found another modded structure which I've seen before. It's basically a little witch's hut, but the witch isn't home. And there's a mushroom cap in the loot chest and a bunch of gold. And I found the gold right in time because my backpack is completely full. It's an iron backpack, so we can upgrade it using gold. Let's just surround it with it. And now we have a gold backpack. Now it has 3 more rows of storage. I kept going and found another village which actually had something really cool. This little structure here is a waystone structure, and the waystone mod is basically teleportation. So we can click on this and now it links us up to all the waystones back home, like Hobbit Hills. And now we're here at spawn, just like that. So I can quickly leave all the resources I found back at home. And then we can just click on the waystone and teleport back to the weird village. I think I'm actually gonna steal the waystone though, because then I can just activate it from anywhere and teleport home. I also found another village with another waystone structure. So now we can get back home, but also keep one for ourselves. But since I still haven't found any modded biomes with new wood types, I want to try a different way. We have to craft a nature's compass. It looks really beautiful, and when we click on it, we can search for all the biomes, and there are so many here. The first place I want to go to is an orchard. Now when I hold the compass, it tells me exactly where to go. It looks like I made it, and this is the orchard biome. It just has oak trees, but the reason I'm here is because I want these flowering oak leaves. They're gonna look really beautiful in cottagecore in my base. Now I have 2 stacks of those leaves. Let's go to the lavender field, which is this incredibly beautiful biome, and we can pick all of the flowers. Then I went looking for a wetland biome, which actually has these beautiful green trees, the willow trees, and they give us this really beautiful pastel wood. So let's grab a bunch of the saplings. Now we can just grow the trees at home, and the best thing is that they grow with these beautiful vines, so we can harvest them. And now I have a backpack full of resources, and the best thing is that I never have to walk back to my hill ever again, because I'm just gonna add this waystone here and call it Hobbit Village. And now we have an easy teleportation point. I can just go back to spawn, you know, just in case I forget resources in my starter house. I brought a bunch of chests so we can set them up out here, and then we can start crafting all of our resources into useful building blocks. Now we have a chest for each of the wood types and one for the greenery. The first house I want to build in my village should be right here in the center of the hill. So let's grab all of our spruce wood, and let's start by building the outline of the hobbit hole, which is of course a giant circle, because every hobbit hole is basically made of a bunch of circles. I brought up 2 pillars using blocks and stairs, and then we can connect them together using slabs. Then we can also add some trapdoors, and now this looks really nice. This can be the main entrance, and if we want to have windows, we can make more circles. Now we have 3 circles connected together, and this is where all of my colorful wood comes in, because for the walls behind the small windows, I want to use stripped willow wood, which is this beautiful light green, and for the big circle, we add stripped mahogany wood. We could also have an entrance within the entrance, and add another color, which is stripped cherry wood. Then we can also add a blue magic door, which has this stained glass, and some magic trapdoors. The place also needs windows, so I went out looking for sand, but I didn't find any until I realized there's a giant sandy volcanic biome here, and all of this is actually sand, and we should just be able to smelt it down to glass, just like any other sand block. It worked! Then we can craft white stained glass and the glass panes, and now we have cute little windows. But the first house isn't done just yet, because I want to add another circle on top of the big one, which looks really adorable. And to connect the hobbit hole to the wall, we're gonna use a bunch of moss. To make it even more overgrown, we can add the flowering oak leaves, lots of grass patches, and these beautiful modded mushrooms. It looks really beautiful, and now the first hobbit hole is done on the outside, because when we go inside, there's just a wall and nothing else here. We can easily mine out all of the dirt layers, but we also have lots of stone here that would take ages to mine with an unenchanted pickaxe. But I'm almost at 30 levels again, so let's just breed all of my animals to get XP. And let's use Nova's enchanting table again. Silk Touch. Efficiency 3. Better than nothing though, and we're getting the stone blocks too and no longer have to smelt cobblestone, so let's just start digging. I dug deep into the hill because for what I have planned, I need a huge room. Because this place is going to be a giant storage room for all of the blocks. I've already started to plan things out. We just need to craft a huge amount of chests. Then we can place all of them in here. So we have different sections that each have 9 double chests. This looks very ugly though, so we need to make it way prettier. And hobbit hole interiors always have a bunch of circles too. But I want to use a different wood type. These are all of the tree saplings I own, and let's try this red maple sapling. Let's bone meal it and see what we get. It's a tree. I expected that, but I don't know what wood this is going to give me. Maple wood, which gives this really nice plank. This wood has a very nice brown naturey color, so it works perfectly for a cottagecore storage room. This is what I have so far, and it looks really nice. For the floor, we could add a bunch of stone bricks, but then the spaces in front of the chest could hold the block type that is in the chest, so we don't have to put signs on them. These are all the wood types I've collected so far, and we have exactly enough chests for each of them. But I know there are a lot more modded wood types in this world, so if we find more, we can expand in this direction. But first we have to finish the storage hall by building a ceiling. It's very dark in here, so we can add a bunch of lanterns, and we can have a bunch of vines coming from the ceiling. The best thing is that we can shear them so they won't grow any further. Now the storage room for the wood types is completed, so we have to create another one over here for all of the stone types. I still want to use the storage room in my starter house, so I still have a reason to go there. So I'm only going to store blocks in this new storage room, like all the wood types and stone and dirt. But if I want to access ores or mob drops, I still have to go to my starter house storage. Now this side of the storage room is completed too, and I don't own that many stony blocks yet, so I only have these couple here. But we're gonna find a bunch of modded ones in the future. I also decorated the entrance hall here, so we can just walk here, and then we can go to the wood types or to the stone types. But let's face it, I'm lazy, so let's just put a white stone here, so I can teleport right into my storage room. Now the first building in our Hobbit village is completed, and now we have an amazing storage room that can be infinitely expanded. But another thing you really need when you're starting out in a new world is an iron farm. I need a bunch of iron so I can spam beautiful lanterns everywhere, and also to make a bunch of redstone farms in my village. There's this little hill here, and it would be perfect if we could hide the iron farm inside of it, but we have to dig down very deep, otherwise the farm isn't going to work. I dug straight down, and I'm gonna dig out a little room. I'm following a tutorial for this iron farm, and I'm gonna link it in my video description if you want to build it too. Now we need to craft some components for the farm. We need 2 water buckets and 1 lava bucket to cook the golems alive. I mean nothing. Then we also need villagers and a zombie. We have these capture cells that can basically capture any mob. It just got dark, so we can easily find a zombie. I think all I have to do is just click on him. I got him. He's in here. Then we need at least 3 villagers, and I think I still have the waystone set up to the acacia village. Hi guys, and yoink, and boop, and steal. Capture successful. And now we go back home. Teehee. Now we can make a ladder going down to the scary iron farm and not die. Oh my gosh. Now we can place 3 beds. Somebody peed on this one. It was the villagers. Then we put slabs all over the place and a little ceiling for the villagers. We also have to release the zombie, but we need to name tag him. This is so unimportant, but I have no idea what to name the zombie. His name is LOL. Let's put him in here and name tag. Ow! He hates the name. Now we just need to add some glass on the sides, and then we can add the villagers down here. Oh no. 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 Dude, this guy's just going up the ladder. Stop. Dude, he's literally going up the ladder. Ow! Then the villager ran out into the night and I never saw him again. So I got a new one from the acacia village. Let's hope this guy won't escape. Those poor unfortunate villagers forever trapped in a little pit. Teehee. Now it gets scary because we have to add the lava. I did it. Then we add some water in the corner to push the golem into the lava. Then we need to break this 1 block in front of the zombie. And now the iron golem should start spawning. He spawned behind me. This is going so wrong. This is taking so long. The poor golem. Now we just need to cover this up really fast so they don't spawn here again. Yay, 1 spawn! The iron farm is working! Yay, it's burning to death! I don't know why I'm saying that with so much joy, but yay, free iron! The farm is done, so now we just need to build a little hobbit hole around the entrance. So I built something cute and cottagecore above, while the gruesome murder machine down below was making me lots of iron. Now we have another tiny little pink hobbit hole entrance, and we even have some windows on the side. Now we just have to decorate the inside of the house, and make a little way towards the entrance of the iron farm, which I had to move over here because it goes directly down to the chests. I've also been AFK at the iron farm for 2 hours, and I got all of this. We're rich. A lot of mining later, and we have a big room, and then we could have a long hallway going to this side, and this hallway is gonna get pink walls. I'm making this place so colorful like it wouldn't be leading to some industrial iron farm, but I think even the ugliest farms can be turned pretty. I finished the entire interior, so when we walk inside we have this beautiful corridor, and we can follow it over to this room, which is where the iron farm is hidden under this trapdoor. Then we can go all the way down and access the chests. The only indication that this is an iron farm could be a little pile of iron ore in front of the house, and we really need that iron farm for the next project that I'm gonna work on. So let's grab all of this and some flowers because I like flowers, because the next village house is going to hold an automatic super smelter and a lava farm, which always needs tons of iron. But first we need another hobbit hole on the wall, so I built 3 circles connected to each other and overgrown with a bunch of moss and more plants. Another hobbit hole is completed, and we have to walk all the way to the last circle, and this is where the entrance is. And I'm back to my usual digging project. When you're working on a big project like building this village and you have to do a bunch of digging and terraforming, it's always nice to have a little distraction in between. And that's exactly what I did, because I met up with my friend Brooke for like no other reason than pranking our friend Red. Okay, Shrieker here. This guy here.
Ah! What should we say?
Your mom.
Your mum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, you have to do this. Your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Then the pillagers came to investigate, so we left them in a boat for Red to find next to the Shrieker jump scare.
Okay, well, that was fun.
And then we celebrated with a big roast chicken. We can't actually eat it.
Nom. You need a bowl to eat this.
I'll go lick my chicken because I don't have a bowl. That's the fun thing about sharing a world with your friends, because sometimes the most random stuff just happens out of nowhere. And while you were distracted watching me prank my friends, I dug out this giant room. Now we need to collect all of the resources for the smelter, like 48 hoppers. I'm so glad I made that iron farm. Then we also need rails and powered rails. The super furnace is really big, so I need to dig out another space here, so I can hide the ugly redstone in the walls. And I'm in your walls. I made this really long tunnel and lined it up with this window. Now we can place the chest, have a bunch of hoppers going all the way along the tunnel on both sides, then furnaces on top of them, even more hoppers, and even more hoppers. This is so expensive. And then we place all of the rails. Then we need 2 minecart chests. Then we put one here and the other one up here. And to start them, we flick the lever, and then they're both moving around. Before we can test if this farm works, we actually need a fuel source, the lava farm. The most important thing we need for that farm is dripstone, and we can use the nature's compass to find it. It's only 400 blocks away. We can do that. I'm totally not getting distracted. I'm just picking pretty flowers in the modded blue biome. But it looks like the dripstone cave should be somewhere over here. Maybe we can find it when we go down here into the water. The water is actually magenta. This is so beautiful. But there is a cave here. Hello, dripstone? Ew, it's a spider biome. Ah! Skeleton! Ew, spider egg. And there's the dripstone. Ah! Should we just break the spider egg? Let's break it. Ew! I hate spiders, I hate spiders, I hate spiders, I hate spiders, I hate spiders. Ha! Give me the dripstone. Hi, creeper. Please die. There's so much dripstone here. I need that. I need to go down there, even if it means that I will die. Wait, that is a stupid idea. I found the dripstone jackpot. Ew, it's a cave spider spawner. Minecraft is really testing my fear of spiders today, but I don't care because I want to build a cute cottagecore hobbit village. Ugh. Let's break this giant dripstone. Okay, I have 26 dripstone. This should be enough. Let's get out of here. I ran away into the blue forest, still panicking about the spiders, when I found this beautiful little hobbit hole, which is actually Brooke's home. And the best thing is that she has a waystone and I can just go home. No more spiders. Ever again. Now it's lava farm time, so let's make a bunch of cauldrons. I think I want to have rows of lava farms on all of the walls inside of this room. Of course, we're gonna make it cute and we can surround it with a green willow wood. We could also have a cute hobbit hole entrance to the super smelter. So all the ugly redstone is hidden behind a wall and we can still access the entire farm. Now let's get back to making the lava farm and add all of the dripstone. I made all of these farm modules and now we just need lava. Let's craft a whole bunch of buckets and then we just go to some lava, which I have in my mineshaft, and we fill all of the buckets with this. And lava, lava, lava. Oh no, it's flowing, it's flowing, it's flowing, and we did it. But the lava farm is working. Look, it is dripping, and soon the cauldrons are all gonna fill up. And then we have infinite lava to smelt our stuff. And while I'm waiting for all of these cauldrons to fill up, we can decorate the rest of the room. Let's use a new wood type that I've never used before, which is this Umbran wood. I've never seen the biome, but somebody planted the trees here, so I'm just gonna chop them down. And we can turn these logs into this dark blue wood. I'm gonna use it as the floor of this room. Now we have another super colorful room. Then we can also add some potted plants, especially the ones that I found in the blue forest. I also added a little desk here, so we could sit here while we wait for all our stuff to smelt. Now that we have the lava, we can finally test if our super smelter is working. Let's put all of the lava into this minecart. And we also need something to smelt, so let's collect a bunch of this black sand. While I was out here mining several stacks of black sand, I actually found this little building, and it leads all the way down this ladder. I hope there's water at the bottom. Oh my gosh. And this is a skeleton XP farm that my friend Red made. You know, the one who now has a shrieker and pillagers in her house. Awkward. But I know where I'm gonna get my XP levels in the future. But first, let's test the smelter. Let's put all of the sand in. Now we flick the lever, and the minecarts are going off. We're getting all the buckets back, and we're getting the glass. I already have almost a stack in like less than a minute. Another village house is completed. Before I build more houses and farms, we actually need to figure out how to connect these together. To do that, I need even more resources, so let's get back to the skeleton XP farm. And let's try to get 30 levels. And the coolest thing is that there's actually a skeleton with a backpack in the farm. So let's slay it. 30 levels and a backpack. We're getting a saddle and a bone. Yay. Let's see if we get lucky this time. Efficiency 4. It's just efficiency 4. I mean, we could easily just combine both of them in the anvil. And now we have a silk touch efficiency 4 and a breaking pickaxe. Now we can go into the mines and collect a bunch of tuff super fast. I'm gonna use that tuff to create a retaining wall around the hill that my lava farmhouse stands on. I think this is such a big improvement, but it still doesn't solve the problem that our houses aren't connected to each other. So I'm gonna use a bunch of stone, copper, cobblestone and andesite, and then we can work on a path. It's gonna go from my storage house up to the iron farm. Then we can also make some coarse dirt and add some of it next to the path. I also added leaves and a couple of these yellow tall flowers. And now walking to my iron farm is really cozy. Now we just have to repeat this process all around this village. And to get to my lava farm, I had a really silly idea. We could go up this hill here, and then we can make a path that's actually on top of the roof of my storage house. Then we can also add a railing using spruce wood and some fences in between them so we don't fall off. I think it's so fun that we can just walk across our storage room, and then we go down the other side, and we're on top of the retaining wall where the lava farm is. We can even sit out here and look at it through the window. And from this walkway, we also have a pretty good view of the village. And the next thing I want to work on actually concerns the villagers. One super important thing you need in every Minecraft world is a villager trading hall, a place where we can have tons of villagers and easily get rare things like mending books. But a house that holds so many villagers needs to be big, and the wall next to our walkway is perfect for a big building. This building is going to be my ultimate Hobbit hole challenge because it is going to be a giant round house with lots of circles within the big circle, and as always full of colorful wood types. This is for sure the biggest Hobbit hole I've ever built. Now we gotta decorate the area around it, and I'm gonna make another tough retaining wall. I added it on both sides, and it leaves a little dirt patch for us to add flowers and leaves like a little garden. Then we can also use our new super smelter to smelt all of these clay balls. Also, I just look how much glass we now have. We're rich. Then we can take our bricks and craft a bunch of big and small pots. Our new building has a bunch of windows, so we can add a bunch of pots here and of course add little flowers. We could also have some in the entrance, and I also added some leaves that now looks really cute. This house is just a flat wall though, so let's connect it to the hill using more moss. Then we could also have a little chimney coming out of the roof, so it looks like one big industrial factory. A villager factory. Just kidding, I'm going to make a beautiful home for them. And from the outside it looks pretty good so far. I'm so glad we now have an efficiency 4 pickaxe because now we have to dig out this entire room inside. I think I'm going to be nice to the villagers and give them a beautiful home to live in, so maybe they will go easy on me and not scam me with expensive trades. But that is probably wishful thinking. Now we have this giant space and some blocks where I planned out the rooms for the villagers. And I want every single villager room to have a different theme. For that we need a giant amount of resources, so I'm going to upgrade my backpack once again. Now it's a diamond backpack. So now we have all of this space. The first room is going to be a magic mushroom room. And we're going to take a bunch of blue wood. We're going to have the stripped umbran wood as the walls and a magic wood floor. Then some fence gates so the villagers won't escape this room. And now we can make it magical by adding some skulk behind this wall here. And I think this is going to look really cool. And the ceiling can be this glowing moss block. Now we decorate it by adding glowworm silk hanging from the ceiling and these luminescent glow shrooms. These ones here actually glow. Okay, this place looks so cool. I also gave the villager a bed and a place to sit. For the next room, I'm going to have to travel to a faraway biome. And I literally just found a random waystone on the shore and it hasn't been activated. So it doesn't belong to anyone, so I can just take it. Which means I don't have to travel back once I made it to the biome. Of course, I got distracted and found a completely different biome which had these giant trees. It's fir logs, okay? I don't think I've seen that before. So we just found another new wood type. I also found a sunken ship and we get a buried treasure map. Then I got even more distracted and followed the treasure map, and I think it's somewhere under me. I see it. And we get 2 diamonds. I don't need iron because I have an iron farm, but I'm taking it anyway. But now I finally found the biome that I was looking for. The hot springs biome. I want to make a hot springs room, so I need to pick up all of this calcite. It's called thermal calcite. Now we just add the waystone here and call it hot springs. And now we can just go home. I love waystones. Now we can build a hot springs room. We can add some campfires in the ground and then cover it with more calcite. So now the smoke is coming out of the ground like it's a hot spring. Then we just need some water. Wait, what? The calcite changes color when you add water. That is so cool. I can literally do a light show with the water. This is so funny. I added an entrance and a bed and some decor. And now we have this really warm hot springs room. And I hope the villager isn't gonna drown in here. I think for the next room I want to build a beach vacation home. And there's actually some modded palm wood. But I don't feel like traveling a million blocks to find that again. So I asked my friends if they had it. And Maggie actually did. So we made a little exchange. I have iron. I have cobwebs.
How about I give you those now? And if you find something cool in the Nether, you feel free to just leave me a little treat.
I hate the Nether, but we're gonna worry about that later because now we have the saplings. Yay! Look at this beautiful palm tree. Let's chop it down. Let's also grab some of these palm leaves. And now we build the tropical room. This room really gives warm summer vibes. I think one more thing is missing. And for that we need to break grass with a knife. And then sometimes it drops straw. Then we craft that into canvas. And we can turn that into a canvas rug, which is the perfect perfect cozy vacation home carpet. Another room is completed. Now 3 more to go. I first worked on a lavender room with white and purple colors and a bunch of flowers. And I think it turned out really cute. We have an overgrown mossy floor and this beautiful lavender aesthetic. I would totally live here. The next room is going to be made out of red wood and some white jacaranda wood. This room is basically a red barn. We got some hay bales and a red bed. And I put a painting in this window so it looks like we're looking outside on a beautiful green meadow. And I have a really cool idea for this last room. We got a wall of different logs and then a ceiling made of leaves. And then some coarse dirt and rhododirt as the floor. Since we cannot place lanterns under leaves, we could add these mushrooms here on the wall and add the lanterns on top of them. This is so cool. Okay, I think this room is one of my favorites. It feels like you're actually in a forest. Now all of the different themed rooms are completed and every single one is so unique and I'm really proud of them. Now we just need to decorate the hallway in between so all of this doesn't just look like a big mess. And spruce wood always makes things better, so let's use lots of that. I made a bunch of Hobbit hole circles out of spruce wood and then we can have a nice oak wood ceiling. I made a stony floor and now this entire interior is completed. We have so much space for all the villagers, so now we just need to get them. And for that we're gonna need a bunch of capture cells. But the problem is that they're all just a one-time use. So I could grab my cat and when I release her the cell breaks. But there's actually a way we can upgrade them. There's a master capture cell that needs obsidian. I think we can easily get obsidian because we can just pour water over lava and then we have to mine all of it. Now we can craft master capture cells. I wanted to take all the villagers that live on this hill here next to my Hobbit village, but I can't find any of them. I think they all died at nighttime, so we have to go and look for a different village. Let's just climb the hill of my Hobbit village and see what's on the other side. We've got a bunch of oak forest here, but we also have this building. This is one of the modded structures and I think it's the one with the villagers. I hope they didn't die to zombies. Yay, they're alive! They're nitwits. I need normal villagers that can actually take jobs, like this one. Get captured. Now I just need 5 more villagers. Got another one. I found a creepy lava biome, but there's a spruce village. Oh, look at this guy. He's trapped on a cliff with his cat. I have to take both of them. Hi, villagers. Get captured. Now we have 5 villagers and a cat. Let's release it, and we gotta tame it. Come on. Yay, we're friends. That also reminds me, I asked you guys in the comments to name this cat next to me, and I'm going to name her Infinite Drift. So we have Luna and Infinite Drift. I also asked you guys to name my horse, and his name is going to be Bilbo, like from the Hobbit movie. I keep getting more cats, so let me know in the comments what I should name this one. But now let's release the villagers. The farmer is of course going in the barn. Now let's put all of the other villagers in here, but they don't have a job yet. The most important trade is a mending book, so let the trade rolling begin. I made a little temporary dirt box so it's easier to roll the trades. And I got an efficiency for a trader. Let's lock the trade. We need to keep that guy. Let's take another one. And let's keep trying for mending. Curse of vanishing. Are you kidding me? Scammers. Still no mending, but I just got unbreaking, which I need to have. No way, this is the second try on this villager, and I get mending for super expensive. I don't care. Locking the trade. He's the guy living in the magic mushroom room. We have mending, efficiency 4, and unbreaking, and I also have 2 farmer villagers. And in this room we have a toolsmith, so we could get some diamond tools. But I cannot get anything because I don't have any emeralds, and that's why I have the farmers. So we gotta make an automatic melon and pumpkin farm and get infinite emeralds from them. The problem is some of the redstone components for the melon and pumpkin farm need quartz from the Nether. So I gotta prepare to go there. And I'm gonna spend a long time in the skeleton XP farm until I get a bunch of levels because we need really good enchanted stuff for the Nether. I just went AFK with an auto clicker for 2 hours and touched grass. And I came back to over 60 XP levels. And a bunch of skeletons actually drop backpacks, including a gold backpack, which has all of this space. Now we just need armor that we can enchant. I don't want to use my precious mushroom armor in the Nether, so we're gonna get some diamond ones. I already have a chest plate and some leggings, so we just need the boots and the helmet. Full diamond armor. Now let's see what enchants we're gonna get. We can also enchant a sword. Okay, that is kind of bad. These are some pretty good boots. I enchanted all of my diamond armor, and I also got an infinity bow. I have a really good sword that's called We Are Never Ever Going to the Nether, but that's exactly where we're going now. But I'm not going to the Nether alone. Oh no. I'm scared, so I'm making my friends come with me.
Oh! There's a gun? Oh!
The modded Nether was terrifying, but we came across a bunch of new blocks.
Someone touch it? Is it violent?
Are we touching
I'm
it?
pretty sure either.
First rule of the modded Nether, don't touch the thorny vines. I found a new wood type called hellbark, which sounds super scary, and a beautiful fire flower that burns you when you touch it. Do you want to see a new pretty flower?
I don't want to. Actually.
Touch it! Touch it! Ah! I also did the most random trick shot when a ghast fired at me, and I shot the fireball back at it using a bow and arrow. It was so wild. But if you thought the modded Nether isn't so bad after all, then wait until you see the biome made out of literal meat.
Ew.
And
What
flesh.
is this?
Ew,
It's hair! It's hair! It's hair on the flesh!
I hate this
actually
so
don't
much.
want to be here.
Get me
Yeah,
out
you
either.
know?
Get me out.
It was so gross, so we got out of there super fast and tunneled towards less disgusting biomes.
Okay.
And of course I picked up lots of quartz for the melon and pumpkin farm while everybody was waiting behind me to continue digging the tunnel. Teehee. The next biome was the withered abyss with a bunch of purple mushroom things. And since it was full of endermen, we slayed a couple to collect ender pearls. But the most beautiful biome of all was this crystalline biome, which had pink crystal clusters that I of course had to collect. We also found the erupting inferno biome, which had some pretty cool blocks.
Are you muted, Brooke?
Brooke.
Are you muted? Are you muted? Oh, now she's gone.
Then we kept going and found a modded structure, which was basically a nether trial chamber, but with piglin broods. Let's just say a lot of screaming and dying happened.
Oh, hi, lady.
Big
guys,
brute!
guys,
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
No, he killed you! We're taking your stuff, we're
But there's
taking—
more.
A pig took your stuff! It's dead. But it was worth it because we found an upgrade template, which means we could upgrade our armor to netherite. Then we finally got out of that horrible underworld and had to show our friends who stayed at home what exactly we found in the nether.
It kind of pulsates. Isn't it
Oh, I
beautiful?
broke the hair.
I bet you like it. Wait, you guys don't like our flesh?
I don't like— Then I spilled a blood bucket down their hobbit hole, and with that, the nether trip was officially over. We got so much good loot from the nether, especially a whole stack of quartz. Also, somebody put something under my carpet because when I step on it, it burns. I've been pranked. Speaking of pranking, I also still have to give something to Maggie from the nether because she gave me the palm saplings. So I gave her gross flesh blocks, but also something useful. But now we can finally get back to our village and to building our melon and pumpkin farm. But first we have to build a beautiful house for the farm, and it was so relaxing to just build after the stressful nether trip. I also made a path leading up to it and decorated it with a bunch of flowers. And in here we can put the farm. This farm is expensive, so we need 30 hoppers and 14 pistons. Then let's mine all of that quartz from the nether, and then we can craft the observers. Now we just have to try and squeeze this farm in here. Let's add some chests here, and of course all the hoppers going into them. And all the farmland goes on top. One side is going to be for the melons, and the other for the pumpkins. Then we add all the redstone stuff above. Now the farm is done, and we can cover up the sides using glass. Now we just need to wait for the crops to grow, and then we can see if the farm actually works. And in the meantime, I can decorate the rest of the village. We have so many beautiful houses already, but there are more villager houses that we can build. The hill above my super smelter and lava farm is still very empty, so we could try fitting a couple small houses in here. I built the first tiny little house. Now we just need to build a couple more next to it, this time with a pink mahogany wood. The second house is done too. Maybe there's some more space here to fit another one behind it, and that actually kind of works. Now we just need to dig out the spaces inside of the houses, because I also want these little buildings to have a use in this village. The first house is going to hold the nether portal, you know, in case I ever want to go back to that dreadful place ever again. I hope I won't have to. Maybe we could add a little bit of that rose quartz around the room to remind us of the good places in the nether. I also thought it would be funny if we could go through the portal like it's a hidden room, which leads to the second house. I got some soul sand and nether wart from the nether, so we could add a little farm for it in here. And we could also have a brewing stand here. I managed to fit a lot of stuff into this tiny room. And we also have a staircase in the first house, which leads to another room. And in here I set up a little bedroom for another villager. This is my mason guy, and he trades bricks. He loves bricks so much that he has a whole room full of flower pots. Some time has passed, so let's see if the melon and pumpkin farm has worked. It's working. So now we can trade this with a farm of villagers and get emerald rich. Now we could try buying our first mending book. Let's put it on a good pickaxe because it's almost broken. Now we have mending, and now we can finish the rest of the village. To complete the cozy hobbit village on the hill, I want to add a couple windmills to indicate that it's a village full of farms. And to add more cottagecore vibes, I'm going to build a bunch of giant mushrooms that are growing out of the houses. The windmills and all of the mushrooms added so much to this place, and with that, our little hobbit village is completed. Let's do a little tour and look at everything, starting with our beautiful storage room. Then we can go up the staircase here over to our iron farm, which is still giving me tons of iron. Then we go up here towards the beautiful windmills and the melon and pumpkin farm. To the left, we get to the villager trading hall, which is my absolute favorite, especially the interior with all of the different rooms. Then over here, we have the little houses, and going down here, we go to the super smelter and the lava farm. We have a cozy little village full of amazing farms and resources. I think this hobbit village turned out so great, and I really love this. I hope you like it too, and if you want to see me do more videos in this world, then let me know in the comments and like the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!